Hello and good morning, or well, almost noon here in Vietnam, and welcome to the New York Times Hard Sudoku puzzle. Today is November 7, 2023. It's 10 a.m. in Vietnam. We don't have summer and winter time. We don't have daylight savings time here. And for that, I'm quite happy because I think that is probably less useful nowadays than it was back in the 70s when this was implemented, when the daylight savings time was implemented to save on energy. That aside, though, we are going to find ourselves a 7 in the top row because of these two 7s. They block these 5 squares, and this 7 blocks this square, so 7 must go here. The 8s look promising, and here's why. We have an 8 and an 8 here blocking down like so, and this 8 blocks across, so an 8 goes here. Now we're going to have an 8 here because this 8 blocks down and these two 8s block across like so. Now we're going to have an 8 here, and the reason is that this 8 blocks across, this 8 blocks up. One of these is an 8 blocking across. So the 8 must go here. Do we have one more 8 to enter? I think we do. 2 more. This 8 blocks across, this 8 blocks across. So we got 8s here or here and here or here. And where exactly they are going to go, I don't know yet. We will have a 4 either here or here because these two 4s block these two squares. The other 3 numbers we need in the row are 2, 6, and a 3. 4, 6, this is a 2 or a 3. So 2, 3, 4 or a 6, interesting. And actually one of these must be a 6 because of the 6 blocks across and this 6 blocks down, giving me a 6 either here or here. Anything else of interest? A 2 blocking up, 2 therefore here or here, and therefore here or here. Can we do anything else with that? Don't really think so. A 5 seems to have to go either here or here because this 5 blocks here, and this 5 blocks these 3 squares, and this 5 blocks these 3 squares. A 4, of course, must go either here or here. We're going to have a 9 either here or here because this 9 blocks up, giving me a 9 for one of these 3 positions. This 9 blocks up, this 9 blocks over, so a 9 here or here, as I said. I am quite intrigued by block number 2 here. We have a 9 and a 5 blocking up. We need to have a 9 and a 5 in 2 of these squares here. So let's have a look at this square. I think it can only be a 9 or a 5. Cannot be a 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be a 5, yes, not a 6, 7, 8, but it could be a 9. The 2 obviously must go here or here, and the 3 and the 4 here, here, and here. However, let me have a look at column 5. We need to find a 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Now look at this square. 3, 4, 7, 6 blocking. So yes, this must be a 2. Now we have a 5 over here somewhere, and we have a 2. We have a 2 and a 5 here. So a 2 and a 5 must go in 2 of these 3 squares. Let's just to try and keep that in our short-term memory. This square must be a 6 or a 7 because we have a need still for 6, 7, 3, and a 4 for the column. So a 3 and a 4, of course, block here. So 6 and 7. I'm spotting a pair. I think it's called a hidden pair. It's hidden because you don't see it until you do. We have a 1 and a 5 blocking across here. And we have a 1 and a 5 blocking down here. So these two squares must be a 1 and a 5. Can we do anything with that? It just means that these four other squares cannot be 1 and 5. There must be a 3, 4, 6, and a 9. We know that the 6 must go in one of these two positions. These are 1 and 5. The 9 blocks down, giving me a 9 here or here, blocking up. This 9 blocks up, so one of these is a 9. That doesn't really help me with the 9s in the first row, though. I'm also not helped with the 4s. So what's left? 3s. Also no help there. But we do have a busy top row. So let's have a look at this square here, because when we have an intersection between rows and columns where there aren't many overlapping digits, there's sometimes something to be had. Let's look at this square. It cannot be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be a 6, but it could not be a 7. It could not be an 8. And it can't be a 9 because we just established that a 9 must go here or here. So it is, in fact, a 6. We have a 6 blocking over here now, and another 6 blocking over here, and this 6 blocking up. So here's a 6. A 6 now must go either here or here in column 2. Here we're still looking for a 5 or a 9 and a 1. And we still only know that the 1 must go in one of these two positions in the top row. But at least now we know that a 6 in row 5 must go either here or here, because these two 6s block these two other squares, right? We also have a little help with the 4s now, because we found the 6. This 4 blocks across, this 4 blocks up. One of these must be a 4 blocking down. This 4 blocks down. So a 4 goes either here or here. That, however, still leaves us with these two candidate cells for 4s in row 8. So it's not really a huge help, is it? Let's see if we can do something with a 1, 5 and 1, 5 and the column, because we have 4 givens now. And we have a 1 here. I'm tempted to look at these 5 empty squares in block 3, because we have a 2 and a 3 already blocking these squares. So 2s and 3s must go in 2 of these 3 positions. Let's have a look here. We cannot have a 1, 2, 3, 4. We can have a 5, but not a 6, 7, 8, and not a 9. So it's a 5. And now we know that this must be a 1 and this must be a 5, because we had this so-called hidden pair of 1 and 5 before. Now I see a 1, 7 here and a 1, 7 here. So 2 of these 3 squares must be filled with 1 and 7. A 4, 6, and an 8 for these squares. The 4 and a 6 block here, so here goes an 8. And we had one more 8 to be filled, I believe, in this block here. Yes, we have this 8 blocking up, this blocking down, and this 8 blocking over. So here's the last 8. Here now a 4 and a 6. And I think that we'll have to wait a moment longer, because we can also potentially have a 4 in this position here. But we are making a little progress. However, I do find this puzzle a little more difficult than usual. But that's a welcome change, I think, because we like a challenge, don't we? We can find a 5 now, and therefore also a 2. Let me elaborate on that a little. We have a 5 in one of these two squares blocking down. We have this 5 blocking down. We have these two 5s blocking here and here. So here's a 5. We have a couple of 2s blocking these 3 squares, and this 2 blocks this square. So here's a 2. And now I think we are actually looking quite good. Perhaps, though, I'm overly optimistic. You never know. We know that one of these must be a 1, and we know this how? Well, these two ones block here, 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 and here, so one of these is going to be a 1. These ones block here, here, and here, so one of these is going to be a 1. We still need a 1, though, for column 3, so it must go either here or here. We have a 1 and a 9 blocking here, so 1 and a 9 must go in 2 of these 3 squares. And we also need a 3 and a 4 for column 4, the 4 and the 3 block here. So this is, in fact, a 1 or a 9. Maybe I'm just not in the mood today, but I do find this puzzle challenging. We shall, however, finish it, I'm certain. Here, 3, 4, and a 6 still. I'm just now seeing that the 4 blocks down here and the 4 blocks down here, so the 4 goes here. And we know that one of these had to be a 6. We can now place a 6 here and a 3 here. That gives us a 6 here, of course. And now this 6 blocks down, this 6 blocks across, here's a 6. And we know that one of these must be a 6. We now have this 6 blocking here, so 6 goes here. Here, a 3 and a 9. Therefore, we have a 3 and a 9 here. And therefore, this must be a 2. So a 3, 9 here. What goes here? It must be a 4. 1, 7, and 2. Nothing we can do about that yet. I think, well, yes, hang on. We have a 1, 9 pair around here. And we know that this was a 6, 7. So now it's a 7. This is now a 1, 2. Yes. We have this 7 blocking down and this blocking over, giving me a 7 for one of these squares blocking across. This 7 blocks down. So we're going to have a 7 here or here. Finding this 6 and having this 6 force a 6 to go here. Now that this square is filled, it cannot be a 2. We have a couple of 2s blocking across, so here's a 2. Now we're going to have a 2 either here or here. This 2 blocks across and this 2 blocks down. Across here we need to have a 3, 4, and a 9. The 4, of course, must go here or here, and therefore this square must be a 4 in row 3. I would like to find another 3 if possible. 3, 5, and 9 here. I'm not quite sure of that. 3, 9 here. 5 here or here. No, I'm not sure. Also 5, 9, and a 1 here. We do find ourselves with a single possibility for a 7 in row 4. It must go here because these 7s here block here, here, and here. So here's a 7. Here now a 1 and a 9. And that can be solved easily because the 1 blocks over. Here's a 9. Here is a 1. And we do remember that these were 1 and 9. Now the 1 blocks here, the 9 goes here, and the 1 goes here. Now this must be a 1 and this must be a 2, which blocks over, giving me a 2 here, which blocks down. This 2 blocks over. Here's another 2. Here we need a 5 and a 3. The 3 blocks up. Here's a 5. Here's a 3. Which blocks over. Here's another 3. Here 9, 7, and a 4. This must be a 9 because this 9 blocks up and a ghost 9 here blocks down. So a 9 goes here. 7 and a 4 now here. 7 and a 4. Well, we know this is a 4. We might as well plug it in now. And that gives me a 4 here. Here we are looking to find a 3 and a 7. And that's easy because a 7 forces a 7 to go here and a 3 here. And therefore a 9 goes here. The last empty square in block 8 must be a 3. Now this 3 blocks up, giving me a 3 here and therefore a 3 here. And this is therefore a 9. Here a 5, 9. The 5 blocks up, giving me a 9 here and a 5 here. Now we have this 9 blocking across, giving us a 9 for this square and a 4 for this. therefore a 4 for this, and a 7 here. We are closing in on this puzzle now. A 1 and a 5. 5 blocks up. Here's a 1, here's a 5. 1 now goes here, and the 7 goes here. For some weird reason, I found this puzzle quite challenging today. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I didn't sleep well. I woke up at 2, and it's now 7:15. Maybe I should just get another cup of coffee and see if that helps. Anyway, we did solve the puzzle as promised. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.